Hey, nice to meet you.
And you, mate. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for contacting us.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah. Whereabouts are you at the minute?
Sorry.
Whereabouts are you based these days?
I live in Amsterdam now.
Ah, right. Okay, cool. How
Yeah,
long
in
you
the
been there?
Netherlands, for 3 years now.
Ah, right.
And
Cool.
I have to say, like, I talk a lot in English, but I'm not used to the British accent anymore. So if I ask you sometime, can you repeat? Don't worry, it's just the English accent is sometimes it's hard.
No, definitely. Especially, I'm from Northern England as well, so
Yeah, I noticed. So it's a bit sometimes like a bit
yeah,
hard.
yeah. No, it's all good. What took you over to Amsterdam?
My girlfriend is Dutch. She's not from Amsterdam, but we spent 10 years in Paris. And we just felt like we need to change scenery. And yeah, we're like, why not the Netherlands? And I said Amsterdam because I want to live in big cities.
Yeah, yeah. Would you
Like,
recommend it? Type thing.
yeah, it's really chill. It's really like you can imagine like people smoking weed and everyone is chill and it's really cool. Yeah. Where are you
Excellent.
in like Newcastle or Manchester?
Manchester. Yeah,
Manchester.
yeah, yeah.
I miss Manchester.
Yeah, you played here. Did you play a few times?
Yeah, like 5 or 6 times. I
Ah,
I
okay,
love the
cool.
city. Yeah,
Yeah, I've only been here a few years now, but it's starting to feel more like home, I guess. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, let's take it right back then, I guess.
yeah,
I was reading that you initially formed the band as a joke in 2005. Is that right?
yeah. It was completely a joke because I was in another band at the time. It was more like a folk band, electronica folk band, with a girl, a Swedish girl, and the other guys they were not into music at all. They were just my friends from high school. And it's pretty funny story, but one night it was for Christmas, I think 2005 or six, and we all had troubles with our families at the time, like fight with parents and stuff. And we all decided to spend Christmas together, the Christmas Eve, which is a bit sad because everyone is in with family, cousins, and stuff. And I had a flat in the middle of Paris. It was cool, but a really small, as 18 square meters flat. And we spent it here together. We cooked the chicken and we had vodka. And at the end of the night, maybe at 2 a.m. or something, I had these demos on my computer and we decided to sing on it. And yeah, that was our first song. It was called First Fuck Nicole. And that was can I say fuck?
Yeah,
It's
go for it,
okay.
mate. It's all right.
Okay, okay. And yeah, and we wrote it that night. We wrote the lyrics, we sang, and then it never moved. It was this forever. And so yeah, when I tell the story, it was always like this night was supposed to be so shit, but then it happened that it changed our life forever.
Yeah, yeah.
So so it was really fun. And then we wrote this song, and then nothing happened. I think for like 5 months, 4 months. I think we played it to some friends, and honestly, they all did this face like, you know, they all did this face like, yeah, sure. Um, and then yeah, and then so it was really a joke, and it was not even a band. But then another night like that at my place with Quentin, the singer, and one of my best friends, Sarah, we were just having fun, drinking, and spending the night at home. And that's when we decided to write a homecoming. And we wrote it because Sarah is half American and she can do the accent. And so that's really is as well like it was really just because she was there, we did this song. And it was maybe 5 months after or something.
Oh, okay. So where did like the lyrical content idea come for that song, really?
Um, I think we were a bit drunk, and I think it's more Quentin, the singer. He started to write about this. He had this fantasy because he likes Beverly Hills, 90210, stuff like that. He started to write like a story. It was just a story, fantasy story about a cousin or about a guy that would just have sex with an American cousin, and then we had fun about the differences between Americans and Europeans. And yeah, it was just for ourselves, I guess. It was just fun. And we recorded the whole night. We recorded the song. on a laptop, with a 10 euro mic.
Yeah.
Really, the mic was like from a supermarket, I think. And then this song as well, we never retouched it. Even when we produced the album and stuff, we were really like, don't touch it. We want it to stay lo-fi like that. Uh, and so yeah, we did everything in one night as well.
That's it. So what I mean, obviously, recording back then was quite primitive to what it is now. Like, what program were you using at that point?
Yeah, I was using Sony Acid. I don't even know if you heard of that.
I don't think so.
It's a it's a program by Sony, but no one knows it. It's actually funny because then after we became friends with Crystal Castles, and the guy from Crystal Castle used Sonic Acid as well, which is the shittiest program, but it's easy to learn.
Yeah.
I never got to learn Acid and Pro Tools. It was really complicated. So for me, Sony Acid was quite simple, and it was on a laptop, and I just had a sound card, I think. Yeah, a little sound card, and the mic. It was really a mic. It was really like 10 euros from a big supermarket in France. But yeah, I don't know. I did not do any EQ or producing. It was just putting some stuff there, and it sounded okay. I don't know.
Yeah, it's mad that it's the same version on the album. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that I had I don't do you know are you into music programming and stuff or
A little bit, yeah, but I only
yeah?
use like GarageBand, a bit basic.
Okay, because there's this program called Amplitude. I don't know if it still exists. It simulates the amp.
Okay.
And so I would plug my guitar just in the sound card, and then you put the Amplitude, and it simulates like you play on a Fender or Marshall, amp.
Yeah.
So I use that a lot for everything. It was really nice to have that.
Yeah, yeah. There's a similar thing on GarageBand now where you can just
Choose
basically
an amp and
replicate
stuff. No, yeah,
any amp or pedal you want, really. It's
yeah.
crazy.
That's probably easier now.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so what happened then? Did he put that on MySpace and then it did like it kind
Yeah,
of blow up from there?
yeah. We put Fuck Nickel and Homecoming on MySpace, and I think we put it Homecoming in May or something, 2006. And yeah, nothing happened. Honestly, it was the whole summer. It was completely quiet. It was really MySpace was booming. Um, in September, we noticed that a lot of people were starting to put Homecoming as a profile song. You remember that profile song? That was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. It was great, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a nice way to meet people and put your personality. Like, I don't know why Facebook never did it after or something, but and yeah, some people were starting to put it from England, from the US. So we were like, wow, that's cool. And in September, I think at some point there was a week, and we never understood why, but all the labels in England and stuff, they all started to write to us on MySpace, and that was really weird. But it all happened in 1 minute. So I really think that as soon as one label said, "Yeah, this is the next thing," all the other one they heard it, and they were. I mean, not all the label, of course, but there was I don't know 5 or 10 or I don't know. And they all contacted us, and then we had touring agents, we had lawyers even contacting us on MySpace. We had promotion managers, like everybody was contacting us on MySpace, and I think it helped to make the ball roll. At the time, we saw that the listens were a bit growing, and yeah, and it started like that. Honestly, just started like that, and then after, yeah, it was crazy. They contacted us, and then they put us in the train to go to London, and we met a lot of labels and to a lot of restaurants, a lot of bad pizzerias, and yeah, and so we were not supposed to have a band at all because we didn't know how to play the songs because I was the only one doing music, and the bassist Michael is I don't even know if he was not even really playing bass. Honestly, he had to learn kind of on the spot. And the singer Quentin, he never did music before, so in a way was really fast. And I don't remember in how many months we had a deal, but maybe 6 months or something. And yeah, I think we had a deal and we had an agent at Primary, which is a big agency, before we even did a rehearsal. So that's completely stupid. Like, no, I admit it's completely dumb. But
That
they
is
all wanted
mad.
to sign us, and we were like, okay, like it's so cool. Yeah, okay, sure. Um, and yeah,
And
and
that's
we
just
did.
all off 2 songs on MySpace.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is
Basically, it was
wild,
two
isn't it?
songs, and then after, I think I had other demos. So I sent them other demos, but it was maybe 5 or 6 songs, and the others they were demos like really with no. Some of them there was no lyrics or something. It was really really early, but we kept because we were like, wow, that's cool. We kept writing a lot at this moment because we thought, wow, we're gonna make it. And so we wrote almost all the songs we had at this time. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
that's
really
crazy.
exciting. It was really exciting at the time. Yeah, the
Yeah,
MySpace
yeah.
era.
And yeah, I suppose that was the thinking about it. The labels must have been thinking, right, we've got to try and stay ahead of this internet
I think
malarkey.
so. It's true that you say that because now that with the how do you say, now that I look back, I kind of think that maybe we were a test. We were a MySpace test. Like because of course we were not really a band. We couldn't play well. The first lives were really bad and stuff. And I think all these labels they wanted to see if a buzz on MySpace you can translate it in a bigger band. But yeah, it didn't really work.
Well, I
But
don't know. You must have sold quite a lot of. I mean, I guess at that time people were still buying CDs, weren't they? I guess you must have
yeah,
sold quite a lot of
I've,
singles.
yeah. For the singles, I never got the numbers, and I think that we sold 50K worldwide. I think so.
That's all right, isn't
So
it?
it was cool. It was cool. It was really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And then taking it back a little bit, I guess, just interested in, that we talk a lot about the early 2000s scene and
yeah,
the likes of the Strokes and everything kicking off. Were you guys into all that when you were growing up?
yeah, yeah. I was really a fan of the Strokes when it came out. Like, and I heard it. I went to buy some Converse the day after. I think for real. Like, I was so wow. And I looked at them, and I still look at them now like that. And I was like, they are so cool. Like, I was like, wow. So I bought the skinny jeans, the Converse. Let my hair grow and stuff. I was
Yeah.
obsessed with the Strokes, and yeah, the Strokes, the Kings of Leon. After all these, I was really into all the indie music in the year 2000s and Block Party as well. And there's a lot of bands that you interviewed that I was really into as well.
Ah, nice one, yeah. And in terms of like nights out, like indie nights, was there a lot of that in Paris?
No, there's nothing.
Okay.
There was really nothing in Paris. There was this really weird trend in Paris called baby rockers, and it was all these kids, kind of posh kids, that were trying to do some Pete Doherty music. You know
Right.
what I mean? And they all wanted to look like druggies and and to sing poetry and stuff. That was quite bad, I thought. And for us, our scene, there was really no scene. It was more electronic music, justice, this type of stuff. But the indie in Paris, it's not really indie in Paris. It was never really indie, and so I'm happy I went to London.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And then yeah, because I was listening to the album and you can hear some influences on it. And like even with Homecoming, you can hear like it sounds a bit like the Albert Hammond's solo album, a little bit, the guitar on it.
The with who you mean?
Do you know Albert Hammond from the Strokes?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
The guitar style reminded me a bit of his
yeah.
solo album
Oh,
on
well, that's good.
Homecoming.
Yeah, I don't really know his solo album, to be honest.
Ah,
But
okay, right.
uh,
But yeah, like music wise, is it really down to you in terms of the music?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I wrote all the music. Um, at first, I really wanted to mix indie, like the Strokes, like really the guitars, I like that, and I wanted to mix it with not electronic drums, but fake drums. That was really the concept of yeah, I think it was the concept. I really wanted to do the Strokes, but with electronic drum kit like in the 80s.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was really the main thing. And but at the same time, we were listening to a lot of different stuff. Like I was really fan of M83, this French band at the time.
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, a lot of English groups as well. Like our song "Streets of Paris." We're really trying hard to do an English sounding song. There's a tenet, 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 and it's really not natural for us. Like, but I really like Block Party, the Rakes, and I all met these guys after, and I was completely like starstruck coming from Paris. I was completely like, wow, it's the guy from Block Party. Like, Block Party was so huge as well for me. The first album, like that was insane. I think it's an influence as well. The first album of Block Party was really blew my mind. Like the guitars and the drumming, it was really wild.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Like it's one of those albums that's aged really well.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it was amazing. And I think we never said that, but I even think that on the chorus Homecoming, the I fuck, I think we tried to do the same as Block Party on a song, but it really doesn't sound like it. But I think it was like a really Block Party influence for the chorus. I think so, but I don't
Okay.
remember which song and stuff. So yeah,
That's cool. Um, so you said, yeah, you've got a record deal before
yeah,
you've had a rehearsal. So
yeah.
what happens from that point?
Well, actually, how we got the record deal as well is crazy because it was we had a lot of labels, so we met a lot of labels, but we had this a guy called Milo from Miroc Records, and at the time he released some single from Klaxons, Crystal Castle. So when he wrote to us, it was clear that we were like, wow, yeah, we want to go with him. And he was working. This label was working with Excel Recordings, and so we we met with Richard Russell from Excel, the boss, and he came to Paris and he took us for dinner in a really really fancy restaurant. Like comparing to all the other labels, that was really like he took us to a really expensive restaurant to have the big menu and stuff, and he was so cool and nice and stuff. Well, he wanted to sign us, so of course, but and and I remember just he was talking, and we were like, "Yeah, we have to sign with him. He's just so cool. He's just so." He told us how he signed Prodigy, like back in the days, and then White Stripes, and he told you all this story about White Stripes. So you wanna sign with him. And I remember this funny story. At the time when we signed the deal, so it was a deal with Miroc, but it was the deal was with Excel, but through Miroc. It was an indie like. Uh, so it's like it sounds like you're an indie label, but then it's bigger, it's a bit
Yeah,
extra.
yeah.
Now, and I remember at the time at this dinner, Richard Russell he told me at some point, yeah, I signed this girl a month ago, and it's like, yeah, she's called Adele, and yeah, she's not ready, but I feel like I can feel that it's gonna be something and stuff. I remember we talked about it, and I heard of it, in London already. And then at the end, he told me, yeah, you know what? I'm sure we're gonna make her bigger than Kate Nash, which I remember this line is really funny. And and yeah, so we hesitated with Excel and Kitsune at the time, the French label.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but I think that the fact that Excel was English, and for us, for French, if you like indie music, everything is in England. So I think that we were like, yeah, we have to go with Excel because it's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask about Kitsune because I remember that being quite a big thing at the time.
Yeah.
Was that more like electro kind of vibe there to it?
Yeah, it was more electro, but then after, they signed a Two-Door Cinema Club and they really made it big as well. So I don't know. They wanted to sign us, and at the end there was only them and Excel. But yeah, I think England for me was really. I think I think Quentin wanted to go with Kitsune more, and but I think I was like, we have to go with Excel. It's like something you can. It's an offer you can never say no. Right? It's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's like still now in France, like it's not like I'm the only one, but who can say I signed with a deal with Excel? It's like it's crazy. I
No,
still can't
definitely.
believe it sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah, I was a huge White Stripes fan, so that'd have
yeah,
swayed me immediately, I think, yeah.
yeah,
So then you have to pull a live band together. Did like the
yeah.
album come before that or after that, recording
No,
wise?
it was after that. Yeah, we started to play gigs a bit 6 months maybe before the record, and it was pretty bad because the first gigs we did, we were just three of us, and we didn't have any drummer or any other guitarist or keyboard, and so we played with a. I'm ashamed. We played with a CD record
All right.
with the CD player,
Yeah.
and no, it's horrible because we recorded the burned CDs at the time with the instrumental of the songs, but then we had the click on it, so the people in the audience could hear tick, tick, before the songs, and then we all started. That was really bad. Like some people probably thought it was a joke or something, but
Or deliberate, yeah.
yeah, but we
That's quite
were
cool. I'd have been quite cool to see at the time, given how much guitar bands are around. It'd been quite
yeah.
a different thing to
I
see.
think we were a bit original, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
especially in England because everyone can play well and everyone arrive and a lot of energy, and us we were a bit like like really on the beat all the time, like quite boring. But yeah, I remember we played Reading and Leeds like that, like, and the tent was completely full. So, but um, yeah, I think we really needed to have a drummer before, and I don't know why we didn't do it, but we should have.
So what's the timeline on this? And this is 2006 when you first start playing gigs.
2007, I think.
Okay,
It
right.
was already 2007. And our first gig ever was we did a small one in Paris and then we did one in London. And it was so stressful because like we couldn't really play. And I was aware of it, that we were really bad live. And it was first gig for the other ones. They never played a gig before. And then they were at the gig, there was all these labels and there were klaxons and metronomy, and it was like there was pitches gelled off and stuff. So it was really at the time we were like, oh my god. And yeah, it was in Hoxton Bar and Grill in London, and
Yeah.
I think it was awful to be honest, but it didn't kill the hype yet. I don't know, so they still wanted
Yeah.
to sign us, so I think we were really lucky.
Yeah, how big was the hype at that point then? Was it like we were playing
uh,
kind of sold out gigs type of thing?
mm, well, it was sold out, the first one in London, but it's small, Hoxton Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
And then after we didn't do our own gig yet. We did a lot of club nights, Vice parties. I think we have the record of the number of Vice parties for a band. We did like 8 or something. And yeah, we did a lot of parties like that. And yeah, it was pretty like being drunk, singing false and playing a bit bad. But I mean, for us, it was really fun. Like the hype was big enough we were in all the magazines in England at the time, because at the time there were still magazines, there were still
Yeah.
days, the ID and stuff. We were a bit everywhere. They all wanted to do a profile, so we had photo shoots. We moved to London at the time as well, and yeah, it was crazy because yeah, everybody wanted to meet us. Everybody knew us from MySpace, and these French guys from MySpace, and we moved there, and yeah, it's like really exciting. Like it was probably the most exciting time of my life forever. It's like it was arriving in a city that you dream of, because London for music, it's crazy, and like everybody is welcoming you, like and wants to know you and hang out with you and stuff. It's a bit fake, but it was nice. Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean 2007, that was kind of like the height of all the interest in this scene, it feels like.
yeah,
The indie
yeah,
scene. So I mean you hit it just at the right point in terms of
yeah.
that really.
Yeah, we were lucky. I think we just arrived at the right time. Uh, Klaxon already existed for a year or something. They were already big. They were already doing big venues and stuff, and there are all these other bands going after them. I think, and we arrived right there. So yeah, it was nice, and yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
It was really nice.
Whereabouts did you live in London out of interest?
Well, at first it's really insane as well because we at first we didn't have a flat yet, and we came and we slept at the guy from our label from Miroc, and he had a house, and Jamie from the Klaxon was living there,
Okay.
and the Crystal Castles were living there at the time, and Joseph from Metronomy had a little studio in the garden, so it's completely crazy. But all these bands were like kind of on the same roof, so we stayed a few months there, 2 or 3 months. Um, and and then we found a house in London when we got the. I think it's when we got the advance from our deal that we could rent a house, and yeah,
Oh, cool. And yeah, I was going to ask about like the kind of scene and if you felt involved in one. Was it those bands then, like you mentioned, Klaxons, Metronomy type thing?
yeah. We felt like I remember at the time they were saying new rave in the magazine and stuff, and I never really. Yeah, it was a bit bullshit new rave, because we're not rave, or you know what I mean. It's like, but sometimes we were put in the new rave in England. I don't know, but there was definitely a scene like Klaxon. I think they didn't really like us, or
Oh, really?
they didn't really want to hang out with us. I don't think so. No. And but well, with Metronomy, we became friends with Crystal Castles, and yeah, I played with a lot of English bands at the time, and with Light of the Pier as well. I played a lot with them.
Yeah.
They were always right before, right after us in the festivals, and we played with Friendly Fires as well a lot. And I, I, I got a bit to know all these guys, and I felt like yeah, there was a bit of a scene at the time, but I feel like it was cool because it was everything was exploding at the same time. And we met with Vampire Weekend, with MGMT from New York as well. We became a bit not friends, but um, and and I felt that there was space for everyone. It's like all these bands they worked. It was crazy. There were so many bands, but then and in England there was a lot of bands like of indie bands as well. And I don't know. I don't know what it is now, but I feel like bands are a bit dead now. No, it's more like just
Yeah.
artists. No.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I mean, we obviously talk a lot about it on the podcast, but it doesn't feel like there's a defined scene like there used to be,
Yeah,
like the
that's.
same kind of community kind of thing.
And were you around in 2007 in Manchester and stuff?
Yeah, well, I come from a place called Hull, which
Okay.
don't know if you remember the Paddingtons, do you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember.
They come from Holland. We kind of just jumped on, we piggybacked on them really, just followed them around and
Okay.
got to know people through them really. But yeah, it's obviously a really exciting time. And I imagine like living in London that year, like was it just a non-stop fun type thing?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it was a non-stop party. Every night it's like either I was touring, so I was getting drunk after and partying, or I was at home and every time I was going out and partying. So it was really insane. Yeah, it was really crazy. I didn't sleep a lot, but yeah, I met a lot of people and in London, and it was just fun. I met all the scenesters, or you say in
Yeah.
England, all these girls that everyone know, all these people that all the bands know and stuff. And yeah, at the time I really felt that I was part of it, so it was quite fun.
Yeah, yeah. Did you have some favorite nights that you used to go to or anything?
Yeah, I used to go to. I didn't know Trash, the night from Eor Alcan because it was
Hmm.
before we moved, but then they did Dur,
Okay.
and it was still the Errol Alcan party, and I used to go there every Monday. I think it was really cool, and yeah, I was going around everywhere in London. Yeah, it was
Yeah, yeah.
fun.
Be something every night of the week.
Yeah, and there was gigs. So and then more people in bands, and then they also tell you I'm playing there, so you go. And Yeah, and London is so much fun to go out comparing to Paris. It's like every time we would go out, and at some point when it closed, someone say, "Yeah, come at my place," and you go at someone's place you don't even know, and you party, you meet people, and then you go somewhere else. And it was really, yeah, really fun times. Yeah.
Well, so it's not that type of vibe in Paris then.
No, it's really serious in Paris. When you go out, everyone's a bit looking at each other, being so cool, like. And so I think we were a bit like that. And in London, it's really more chill. I think everyone will talk to you in a bar and say, "Hey, man." And we were a bit still. So living in London, we became more like Londoners after, I think. Yeah.
Cool. And then in terms of recording the album, then, where did that happen?
We did the album with this producer called Lex. He worked with the XX after, and before he worked with the Black Kids. Don't know if you remember this band.
Yeah, yeah.
And we recorded at his place, and it was not a proper studio, but I think it was better for us to have not a proper studio, because we tried to record our vocals in really expensive mics and stuff, and it was always different. We didn't have it was not so good, I think. And Lex, you really understood that we didn't want to change the songs too much and the sound as well. We wanted to keep it lo-fi, but then playable, because if it's too lo-fi, then you play it in a bar, it's like, you know. so so I think, yeah, he did a good job for that, and he was really understanding us. Because before him, we tried with Gordon Raphael from The Strokes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we
Okay.
tried 1 or 2 weeks with him, and it was really nice, but really didn't click musically. That was really not, like, honestly, we did some tries. It was really bad, I think. And so we were like, okay, no, it's we have to find someone else. And so Lex, as soon as we tried, it was really, really good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did think the production on the album was really good, like especially on tracks like on Love Now.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah,
it sounds really good.
yeah,
So it's interesting that it was more of a lo-fi setup. Yeah.
yeah. It's true because I listened to it this year, the album, and yeah, I was honestly, it doesn't sound too bad. you know, I mean, it's 15 years ago, and it could be really bad. And sometimes it's true that I listen to some bands from this era, and it's a bit dated, like really
Yeah,
dated.
definitely. Yeah.
And I feel like he did a pretty good job. It doesn't feel like, oh, I'm ashamed, like, oh, it's okay. I still feel it's okay.
No, no, I was
Yeah,
enjoying listening to it this week.
yeah.
Definitely. And then you mentioned the likes of NME, and your music went down really well with them. Then you got the
Who?
fourth with NME.
Enemy, the magazine.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think you got the fourth best song of
yeah,
2007, and they gave you 4 out of 5 for the album.
yeah, yeah,
When you're getting that kind of reception, obviously it's very encouraging, and we kind of
yeah.
love in that type of thing.
Hold on, the camera. Um, hold on. I have to wave to the camera because it's a AI camera or something. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. The enemy. Yeah, for me, it was a dream as well to be in the enemy. And yeah, I don't know if our label paid them or something. I don't know how it works, but yeah, they were really on us at the time. And yeah, I remember that when we were like song number 3, or I don't know, number 4, I don't remember, of the year, I was really like, I think we were before Rihanna or after Rihanna. I was like, really like,
Yeah, yeah.
what the fuck? Like, it was really crazy. And being at the time in the enemy in England makes you that you're recognized in the streets by the young people. It's crazy. Everyone was reading it or seeing it at least. And yeah, I was really sad when he disappeared, actually, because it was also it's also a magazine that before going in England and before being in a band, sometimes you will find it in airport and stuff, and I always would buy it, because I couldn't find it in France, and I would always buy it and look at the first pages to see the new bands, like it was so exciting. But So yeah, honestly, it was really cool to see yourself in the enemy. That was
Yeah,
good
yeah,
feeling.
yes.
Yeah.
And then I was reading basically during 2008, you played all over the world, 25
Oh,
countries, 100 cities to promote the album, including Reading and Leeds Festival, Glastonbury, Summer Sonic in Japan, and you went on
yeah,
tour with Vampire Weekend in America and Europe. So
yeah. We
pretty good
played
year.
with, yeah, it was insane year, and yeah, I mean, my dream was the musician was to play Reading. That was my dream because I saw Nirvana, play Reading, and I saw videos, VHS videos when I was small of that, and that was always my dream. Like one day I can play Reading, like. So we didn't do the main stage or something, but but it was really a dream to see your name on the poster. And yeah, this year we played everywhere. Like it was insane. We did all the festivals, and I mean even Glastonbury in France. It's less famous than I realized how big it is in England after, but Glastonbury and Coachella and Summer Sonic, and yeah, it was completely crazy. In Summer Sonic, it was one of my best memory from the band. It sounds weird, but Coldplay was playing, and they let us side stage in the stadium, and all the bands could come to side stage. I don't know why it was allowed this time, but it was insane. That was really like it's one of my best memories to see them play and arrive on stage with all the crowd and stuff. And the sound they had was so big, and they were so professional and stuff. I was like blown away, like really, because I like Coldplay when I was like 18, with Yellow and stuff. So,
Yeah, yeah, no,
yeah,
definitely. I mean, a lot of people mention Japan as being like kind of a highlight for touring.
yeah,
So it's the same for you
yeah,
guys.
yeah. It was crazy. We had girls waiting at a hotel and stuff. Like we had, how do you say, when you have to sign things, meet and greet.
Autograph, yeah.
Yeah, after the gigs, and yeah, you feel like a rock star. Like you really feel like you made it. It's like it makes your head a bit like because they wait for you 2 hours. You have to spend 5 or 10 minutes with every one of them, and they give you presents. I think I have one right there. Hold on. Some girls gave me this bag,
Oh, wow.
and there's a little cutscene with our album, and there's badges with my face on it. I still have it in my office.
That's excellent, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it's really in Japan that you feel like you feel like you made it. I think every kind of small band here they have fans. So and yeah, there's weird fans as well. There's this one guy that hugged me and he wouldn't let me go. After it was a bit 5 minutes of hug, and I was like, okay, okay, and he's like he doesn't say anything. Like all this weird shit happens in Japan.
And then, I mean, playing with Vampire Weekend, you must have been because they were kind of tipped as the new Strokes, weren't they, at the time?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
They sign on Excel as well,
okay,
and
right.
that's how the connection was made. And it's weird, huh? But they really liked our album, so I think it's them. They asked for us to play with them, and yeah, we didn't do a whole tour with them, but we played a bit, and they're really nice guys, and we yeah, it was crazy. It was big venues like in America, and yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was that was really cool as well. Yeah, I really love their music, so
No, yeah.
it
That
was
first album
nice.
was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I was watching some of your live videos today, and
Mhm.
was it kind of a thing with Homecoming that you get people on stage? Was
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. We I don't know how we started that, but yeah, it was fun. Honestly, it was fun because it was big enough so people can know the lyrics. So it's true that sometimes it was a bit of failure, but it happens a lot that a girl take the mic and sing the whole parts, and that was really cool. And yeah, I think people liked it to come on stage to party. That was really like 2008 vibe. Everyone just party, and I think it was good with we're called the teenagers. So we have to act like teenagers, so we were just like come on stage, anyone, and so sometimes there were really too many people and stuff, but we didn't mind if it sounded like shit. We just wanted the energy and have girls dancing, and
No, it looked a lot of fun. Yeah,
yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
I was reading one story in NME, like something that maybe it was at Leeds Festival, and like the security would only let you have 2 people on or something.
The security what?
The security at Leeds Festival would only agree to let 2 fans go on or something like that.
Oh, this I don't remember, to be honest. No, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's quite ambitious to have a stage invasion at a festival, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. In Glastonbury, we had it. Huh? They all came on stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think they just let it happen. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So, like, yeah, with the female vocals on that, then did Sarah come on tour at all, or not really?
Yeah, she did the first gigs, like maybe the 5 or 10 first gigs, but then she was in Paris. She had a job, and it was like just to sing one song, it was like not possible to organize when it became serious. Because at first it was club nights, and we played in Stockholm with her, for example, and we were always saying you have to fly Sarah as well, blah, blah. But then after, it became complicated. She had something else to do as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
and so we could have put the playback, but I think that's when we thought maybe we just ask someone to sing it, and that's funnier than putting a fake playback.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Creates a good vibe.
yeah.
So yeah, what's kind of the plan after that then? Was it just kind of seeing how the album went? We still writing songs for preparation for another
Um,
album or anything?
yeah. At the time, the thing is, like, they sent us, our agent sent us touring so much that we didn't have time to write songs. So I don't know, we didn't really realize it, but um, honestly, yeah, we didn't have time to write new songs. We wrote maybe 2 or 3. And then I remember we had to play some songs to Excel, and it wasn't ready, and they heard it. And then I think we signed for 3 albums, but it was options. And so they dropped us kind of. They said, okay, no, we're not taking the next one. And at the same time, we had a fight in the band because, of course, it started to become bigger. We did a lot of touring in 2008, and so there's money coming in. And then when there's money, there's fights. And we decided to go back to Paris as well. I don't know why, but yeah, I think we were a bit, yeah, after 2 years of being in the washing machine of touring and partying, I think we were a bit like lost.
Hmm.
And we needed to go back to Paris. So we went back to Paris, but then we started to write songs, but we didn't have the label anymore. And well, the attention was, we still had fans, but the labels were not excited anymore because maybe they saw that we didn't sell that much. and and so after was really a long moment of we don't know what's going on. And we wrote an album, we recorded it, so we tried with a lot of different people as well. We tried like 4 or 5 producers, and at the end of the day we ended up in Berlin with a producer to finish it. And we were like, okay, we're gonna finish this record, and then we'll find a label. And I don't know, we had a manager, he couldn't find a deal, and the previous manager, he stole us some money, I think. And so we were running out of money and stuff. So it was really the hangover after the party. Like it was really everything for 2 years or 3 years was crazy. We travel, and we didn't think about anything else than partying and playing gigs. And it's true that, yeah, we were not serious, and we never thought about our career. Maybe that was a mistake. But in a way, I don't regret it. We had so much fun, and we were young and completely dumb.
No,
Uh,
definitely. Yeah.
but yeah, after it was a bit of a big ending, but it was really long because we had to. I don't know. But I didn't want to say to myself that it's dead. It's over. So it took a lot of years, and we were not really hanging out anymore together. We would just meet for the band to force ourselves a bit. So it was a bit shit, to be honest.
Yeah. But you kind of released a song in 2010 and one in 2012. So it's kind
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
were they both on that second album?
yeah. It was for the second album, and yeah, it's still a shame because I feel that we have a lot of nice songs for the second album, and all the singers that were supposed to be the singers, we kept it for the album, and we never released them. And yeah, it's a shame because they were really good songs, but maybe one day, I don't know, maybe we can release it sometime. But yeah, I don't know. We had a deal with a publisher, so I don't think we could just give it like that.
All
Um,
right.
and I don't know now if we still, it's like this publishing stuff, like no one understands anything,
Okay.
It's a
So, I
bit like
mean,
that.
probably had, it might be the most questions
Yeah.
I've ever had for on Instagram for someone. Got a
Oh yeah.
got a massive response, and
Oh yeah.
a
Oh
lot of people did ask about whether that album would come out or whether there was going to be more music. But is it just a case of, is it almost legal stuff, really?
yeah. Because honestly, I think that we would have give it, on the internet.
Yeah.
Because it was also the spirit we started with. At first it
Mm.
was on MySpace, and I remember on MySpace we even let people download the demos, the Homecoming, and that was really the spirit of we just giving you that. And so yeah, I don't know, yeah, to be honest, it's legal because I'm not sure that we can give it, to be honest.
Okay.
And we have a publisher in Germany. It's Universal in Germany. And we changed the manager we signed with. We're not in touch anymore. I don't even know who to contact for to know. It's like all these weird music deals. You probably hear about this shit all the time. Um, but I don't even know if we can just give it. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to
Well,
find out. I have to find out.
yeah. Well, a lot of people would want to hear it, judging
Yeah.
from the response. And then in 2020, you released a song on SoundCloud and a post on Instagram, just explaining why you hadn't kind of told people what had been going on.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Kind of a bit of a,
Have a
don't know, a bit of a
goodbye
sign
letter.
off. Yeah, yeah. And like the song itself is autobiographical. I was enjoying that.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you feel like you wanted to kind of, I don't know, almost put a full stop on it, kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we never said before that it was over, but it was over for years. And but with always the hope that maybe one day, we'll release another single or something. But then at this time, I think it was, I'm not sure, but I think it was for me, and I told the other guys like, listen, I need to close the chapter forever and say, man, like, and also for the fans and stuff to tell them, sorry, we didn't say what's going on, and it's over. Don't wait for it, but thank you for being there. Because we touch so many people, like in weird countries, in Australia, in Mexico. We have a lot of fans and stuff, and yeah, I felt like we never told them that we were over. And so yeah, and we released this message on Facebook. Well, since the Facebook page got hacked, so we lost it. But
All right.
on Facebook and Instagram, and we received so many messages from all over the world that really, like, I was really like, wow, and it was really nice to hear all of that because before you close the chapter, and all these people saying like, yeah, I met my husband listening to Homecoming at a party, or you made me want to play guitar when I was 13 and now I'm in a band, stuff like that. We were really like, with a little tear, like, it was really emotional. But yeah, it helped me as well to make it like, okay, it's over. And yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's understandable. So when was the last teenagers gig then?
I don't even know. I don't remember. Fuck yeah, I don't even know. And I think none of us remember. That's the thing. I
What year will it have been, do you think?
I think it would be 2010 or 11.
Okay.
I think we did a festival in Slovakia at the end. We also did a tour with Tudor Cinema Club.
Ah, cool. Right.
Maybe it was that, but honestly, I'm not sure. Yeah, yeah, that would be good to know. Yeah.
Would you ever try and do one last gig as like a sign off? Do you think?
Well, we played for the wedding of a friend.
All
we
right.
played we played Homecoming once 5 years ago.
Yes.
Um, and for all of our friends, and yeah, it was cool because they all like they all it was really a way to put yourself back in 2007. That was cool. But no, yeah, I don't know if yeah, I wouldn't know where to do it. Probably in London. If we were
Mm.
doing one last one, I would probably do it in London because for our music, London in England was really the starting point for us more than France. So, but I don't even know. Honestly, man, I would really feel like I would be really scared that no one shows up or that, or
Honestly, I
that,
think you'd have no
yeah,
worries with that.
yeah, I don't know, but maybe one day, who knows? Just one last gig, for fun.
Yeah, definitely. I think quite a
Yeah.
few bands are have been doing that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a few bands I've spoke to.
Like
So
who, for example?
Helps You Can't Swim. I don't
Yeah,
know if you
yeah.
they did it this year, I think. They played a couple in London.
And it was the last ones forever.
Maybe, yeah. They kind
Maybe.
of just wanted to then I guess people when they stop without planning it, they kind of want to just enjoy it. Like and know it's going to
Yeah.
be the last gig, maybe, yeah.
But in a way, I'm happy that I did the last one, maybe without knowing it, because I don't know if I would feel sad to do a last one. I think, like,
Yeah, a
I
lot of
don't
mixed
know.
feelings.
Yeah, a bit like um yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day we'll do it. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
We had this guy from America, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and that wanted to book us for a whole tour, but we didn't
Wow.
play for like years, and it was a whole tour of a club night in the US. Because he said, yeah, yeah, it was a bit the indie sleaze before indie sleaze. He said, yeah, I book all these parties where people listen to the Raptor and Klaxons and the Teenagers and stuff, and you could play live like just a few songs and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. We are a bit like, yeah, I don't think so, but yeah,
Ah, fair enough. I mean, there was a quote I read regarding the album, the second album,
yeah,
where he said, yeah, basically it got difficult and he felt like you couldn't recreate the innocence of the first album or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really hard to because at first there was no expectations, and I feel it's so much lighter and easier when there's no one expect anything. You just do it for fun. And we would drink honestly every time, and we would just sing along, and it was just pure fun. Like, and we were like 23 or 24 years old, and we're all friends from school, and it's at the time where you don't have a job yet, but you're just hanging out and stuff. You're a student, but still hanging out, and yeah, then after the innocence is completely gone, you feel like you just have to write songs to make a second record. And it's like you put your whole life in the first one, all the stories, all your musical influences in the first one. And then the second one, you're like, yeah, it's harder, and I think we have good songs still, but it's true that it's less innocent, it's less, yeah, it was hard, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you carried on writing music though? Is that like what have you been doing since the band really?
No, I do completely different stuff. I studied journalism before I did the band. And so then after I was writing for magazines in France,
Oh,
a
cool.
journalist, freelance journalist. And now I'm a YouTuber for
All
video
right.
games. Yeah. So
Oh,
it's
amazing.
completely different. And so I play all these video games and I do videos on it. And I was
Yes.
always into gaming, into geek stuff. And so no, I just wrote a song with a friend 2 years ago, but nothing. I felt like after teenagers I had to stop music for it was too intense. I think it was too intense, and I had to almost recover from this touring nonstop. I don't know, we did 300 gigs in 2 years or something. It was really
Yeah.
crazy. And even listening to music was a bit like I stopped for years. And it's really funny because now a few years ago I discovered Bring Me the Horizon.
Right.
Yeah, I completely fell in love with them. And because before I remember that I was like, yeah, I know the shit, but I didn't really know the music. And now I completely love it. It reminds me of my emo years when I was 19. And so I'm completely a fan of Bring Me the Horizon. And they really made me love music again. This is a bit funny, but and so I follow even their tour. Every time they play now, I watch on YouTube some live. I'm completely a fan of Bring Me the Horizon. And yeah, but I had to do a big stop with music, and now it's back.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like
Mm,
you got plenty of guitars in the back there.
yeah, I still play sometimes. Yeah.
Cool. And what's your YouTube channel called? I'll give it a follow.
It's called Altis. I don't know if you can find it if you're because it's in French. So if you type Altis, I don't think
How do you spell that?
Altis.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
Okay, so uh,
I don't think in England you will end up on it.
okay. Artists. I'll have a look for that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can send it to you. I send you the link.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to. I've been building the YouTube channel for this podcast, so I just
Okay.
find it quite interesting when other people do it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to these questions
Yeah.
because we've got around, I think, got about 40 responses to the Instagram post, so we'll try and get through some. Yeah, Antonio XOX just says, "Can you please reunite?" I mean, he's still, I guess, on good terms with the band and stuff.
Good terms with the band, you mean?
Yeah,
With the other bandmates?
yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, good term with the singer Quentin, but we're not really in good term with the third one, Michael.
Okay.
And yeah, so I don't think we're real to be honest. Sorry. I don't think so.
Fair enough. Um, P P6 Lex
Yeah.
says, "Do you regret leaving music, or would you change anything about the decision to stop altogether?" I guess kind of covered that, but do you have any regrets?
No, I don't have regrets. Like, it's true that we were not serious about the music. Like, honestly, every gig we were drunk. We didn't play well. We never rehearsed. I don't know if it's something like, but we never did rehearsals. We just did gigs. So it's really amateur, to say that now. But we did maybe 2 rehearsals in 3 years, and we were
Wow.
just going out like, let's play and fuck it. A bit
Yeah,
of
yeah.
a punk attitude, but yeah, it was dumb. So it's not a regret, but it's true that if you ask me now, maybe this career could have been a bit longer if we would have made a bit more effort. So
Yeah, it's kind of sometimes it's just better to burn bright for a short time rather than I
exactly.
don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. And also, if you think about it now, maybe if we made the efforts, we would have lost this innocence of these guys doing whatever, on stage. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so why not? Yeah.
Got two more questions from the same person.
Yeah.
He's still all living in Paris. Obviously, you're not. Um,
I'm not, but the other ones, yeah, they still live in Paris.
okay. Um, is this the guy that produced the album? By the way, do you think
Is it the guy what?
who produced the first album? No, it's called
It's called
Lex.
Lex.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe it's him. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
It
maybe.
might be him. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
we probably listen to it. So, hello, Lex.
so how are you guys doing nowadays in the real world? Kind of answered that, and he says, "Is anyone married with kids?" So many
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Well, I'm not married, but I have a kid.
Okay.
And it's been 2 years. She's 2 years old. And yeah, complete change of life. Like I feel like it's really another life. So I moved to Amsterdam. I had a kid, and I'm going to the park with my daughter. I'm playing with my daughter. completely in love with my daughter. I'm completely crazy about her. So it's a change of life comparing to the crazy life we had, but it's perfect. It was the right time, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And is your partner French as well?
No, she's Dutch.
Oh, Dutch, right,
Yeah,
right, okay. So your daughter will grow up bilingual then?
yeah, yeah,
It's always a bonus. Always jealous of people that can do
yeah. And I listen to a lot of music with her. She's already knows the lyrics for "Bring Me the Horizon" songs.
that. Yes.
Uh,
Will there ever be a re-release on vinyl of Reality Check? And that's from Delve Fever.
I don't know honestly. I don't have the rights on the records. It's Excel, so I don't know. I think that if you go on the Excel website, we don't exist anymore. They don't even mention us.
All right.
So I don't think there's a I don't think there's a good chance to have a vinyl. No,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
for the 20 years, maybe I don't know. But
I mean, obviously, at the time, you know, it's not like you can have regrets about it, but is there things you would do differently in terms of earning certain rights? Because obviously, you can't release your second album and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, we yeah, it goes with the same as the how we played and stuff. We didn't take care of this shit. Like we were really not into all this legal stuff, and we got completely. We're really going nowhere fast. You know, like really, let's play gigs and stuff, and we didn't think about any consequences. But yeah, it's like that. We had fun.
No, I mean, I
Yeah,
can't imagine anyone. I think anyone in your position would have just done the same.
I think so because
Yeah,
you're like 24 years old and you play all these gigs and all the attention from people that makes you just want to have fun. I don't know. Like I'm
yeah, yeah.
really, yeah. I couldn't have done it differently. I think so. I don't regret.
No, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Um, a few more. Robin Jones, 1982, says, "I saw you at the Reading. I saw you at Reading in 2007 on the dance stage. It was
Yeah.
class."
Oh, well, well, that
I-
was the gig with the CD player.
okay, right. Um, he says, "How was being in the UK then?" Yeah, I guess we've not talked about. We've only talked about London really, but did you play all over the country? Obviously.
Yeah, yeah. I think we played honestly everywhere, like in England. Yeah, we did Birmingham, Nottingham, Liverpool. Liverpool was so fun. We played in oh, I don't remember the venue, but it's really in one of the main street on a Saturday night we played. And then after our gig, we went in the street. That was insane. I never seen that in my life. Everyone was so drunk. People start fighting. All these girls wearing mini skirts, like a completely drunk. It was insane. Like, but Liverpool was, I think, in England, one of the nicest people. The gig we played, it was. I talked to everyone in the audience after. Everyone's so nice. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Is that a thing in? I don't know. We always think about England and like the drinking culture that it's a lot more around like binge drinking. Is it just not the
Yeah.
same in Europe?
No, no, it's really English. Yeah. And it's really English and it's fun when you're a band because when you arrive at the gig, they're all drunk at 7 p.m. And if you play at 7 p.m. in Paris, like people are really cold, you know, they're really like, yeah, that's nice, but you know.
Yeah.
And in England, you arrive and all these kids, you know, they're like 60 or something, but you don't understand that they're all so drunk and partying. And when you go to festivals, I don't know what they take, but they're really young and they're completely like mental. And I always thought England was the best crowd I could dream of. It was I really love playing in England because it's people just love rock and indie and they go for it. You know, it's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Um, a lot of people are femme Felicia
Yeah,
asking about re-release of the album and a tour. Guess we kind of covered that really.
yeah, yeah.
Um, have you Bass Pond says, have you ever considered releasing more music under a different name?
Uh, no, not really.
Fair
No.
enough. Do you see any? This is from Bass Pond as well. Do you see any bands nowadays that have carried on your style of music?
Oh, I was gonna say that's interesting, but not really. No, because I feel like after us, the vibe got really like DJs and like
Hmm.
more electronic, and everyone can do on a laptop some big production and stuff. I felt we kind of lost the indie scene a bit after
Yeah.
us. Like, is there a lot of indie like guitar bands like now in England? Um,
Well, yeah, I was going to say it's interesting that like you had a bit of a spoken word type vibe because that's quite big at the minute. With bands
okay,
that have you heard of a band called Yard Act?
no,
So they're like massive, Radio 6.
okay, yeah, I remember Radio 6.
Yeah, like they're I guess they kind of push the guitar bands, or they're kind
Okay.
of like leading the way. But yeah, Yard Act are probably one of the biggest bands, and they're kind of a spoken word band, and also like Fontaine's DC.
Yeah, I heard of that. I heard few songs, but I see the name all the time, and I heard few songs, but yeah,
It's
it was
different
good.
to you, obviously, but it's kind of like the vocal style is
Yeah,
even with someone like Idols, it's still more kind of a spoken word type thing.
yeah.
So it's
Well,
interesting.
I also really like I like the 1975. I'm really cheesy, but
Okay.
I was really I had an emo background, so I like Bring Me the Horizon 1975, But yeah, I think they know us. I think they know about us because I think that from our tour agent at some point, Maddie asked something for Quentin maybe to record something
All
on
right.
one of the album, and at the end of the day, it didn't happen. But so I always assume that I never met them. I always assume that they maybe liked us or something, and I think that yeah, that would be the band. Like if one day they would say that they liked our music, I would feel like really that it's not a continuation, but you know what I mean? Like it's a bit like guitar with synths, and yeah, I would I would just love if they liked us, I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's true that after that there's not a lot of bands that no, yeah, I don't know.
No, it's not my
Yeah.
microphone there, sorry. Um, let's have a look. Howdy Partner 96 says, oh yeah, we've not really covered the remixes. Did you do a lot of you did a lot of remixes as well back in the day?
Yeah, yeah, we did. I did a lot of remixes for the band, and yeah, it was also one part of a popularity. I think like a lot of kids were liking this remix. They were a bit more electronic, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And how would you release those?
Well, it was always released by the labels. It's like they
Okay,
ask
right.
you to do a remix for this band, and yeah, I always found it funny because do you remember this band, the Enemy?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they liked us and they asked us for a remix, which I found really funny because when I see those guys on MTV and stuff, they really don't look like they listen to us.
Yeah, yeah. That's
They
quite
look
funny.
like they really listen to Oasis, or something. And yeah,
Did you do it?
yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah, we
cool. I'll
did
have
it.
to
Yeah, it
find
was
that.
cool.
But yeah, Howdy Partner says, can you post all the old remixes somewhere for download? He's lost them all apparently.
Yeah, there's some on SoundCloud. If you find the SoundCloud, you type the teenager, you can still find some remixes.
Oh, cool. Right, I'll
Uh,
do
well, I have
that.
to ask you, is the band the Corteners still around?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're massive in this part of the country. Yeah.
Okay, because this I have a funny. I mean, I remember from my touring years, I played in when we played Glastonbury. Right after us was the Courtneys, and I didn't even know them. I was like, "What's that?" And I remember I was putting my guitars away, and they started, a bit after we were just having a drink, and it was insane. It's like the whole crowd was singing every word from every song, and I was like, "But who is this band? Like, it's huge!" Like, there was like, I mean, I don't know if it's huge, but their fans were like diehard fans. Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was wondering if they're still around. It was insane.
No, they have got like a really loyal fan base, I think.
Yeah,
And like they seem to play They play massive gigs in Manchester every year at like
Okay.
the cricket ground and stuff. But
Okay.
yeah. No, it's a band that I've never really got into, but when
Yeah,
I've
me
seen the
neither.
gigs,
But the gigs
um,
are insane. Huh? It's
yeah,
really
exactly,
impressive. I was like, whoa. Yeah.
yeah. um, do you have any unreleased songs? We kind of covered that with the
Yeah.
second album.
Yeah.
Lucy 3005 says, "What's the most 2009 moment that happened to you?" Or 2008 moment, I guess.
Uh, the most 2008 moment. Uh, yeah, I think it was a party in Los Angeles, and it was for the NME Awards in America.
Yeah.
And we were, it was not for the public, but it was just for the invited people. And it's true that we were in a really small theater and with only bands. And it was really MGMT, Vampire Weekend, Klaxons, Justice, the Killers, there was the Strokes. It was insane, and it's really one of the party where like I remember I got to take a picture with the Strokes, and then the Killers were there and they threw the table, and there was no one to see it, there was just us, and we're DJing at this party, and yeah, and we had a crazy night. It's Vampire Weekend. We did a party, and it was really one of the. There was Pete Wentz was there. All these people, and it was really, yeah, it was really like when I think about it, it was really like 2008. Everyone was, every band was there. It was a bit crazy.
Yeah, sounds ace. Um,
There was also another 2008 moment where it was the plane between Osaka and Tokyo during Summer Sonic, and in this plane there was all the bands. It was really crazy. I remember I was like, wow, that's cool.
Goodwin 61 says, "Do you remember shows in Manchester? Was the Paris Olympia a highlight?"
Uh, what do you mean? Is the Paris Olympia a highlight? What?
Yeah, I don't know what you
The
mean by that.
Olympia, the venue. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I remember. I think I remember Goodwin. I remember this guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, and it's like these four or five friends from Manchester, and they were always at our gigs and stuff, and I always find it amazing because they're a bit lads, and
Yeah.
I never thought they would like our music, but they were really fans and stuff, and I remember them. So hi.
Ah, cool.
And the Olympia, yeah, it was nice to play at Paris Olympia because it's a very famous venue in Paris, and we played it with Tudor Cinema Club. So
Ah, cool.
it was
Right.
a good opportunity to play this big venue in Paris.
Did he have a bit of a? Did he have a good French following then? Did that kind of come with it, as in the fan
Us,
base? Yeah.
um, it was okay. Yeah, we had a bit, but it was really more like the US, England, Mexico, Australia, and then maybe France,
Okay.
So not so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Just got people saying that they miss you, or a lot of people asking about reuniting. Um, Autistic Femcell says, "What are your feelings on seeing your music getting semi-popular again after being released so long ago? Has that happened? Is that like the Indie Sleaze thing?"
Yeah, I saw you had the Spotify Wrapped, yesterday,
Oh yeah.
and I saw that the streams they went up from last year of 33%. So I guess it's because of Indie Sleaze.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think it's really popular at the moment, but it's nice to see. I received some messages from kids, especially in America, that are 18 quite often, and they say they discovered it, and some of them recently told me that they discovered it because they went on Tumblr. Can you imagine?
All right.
Yeah,
Tumblr.
yeah, they're 18 years old from New York, and a girl and a boy, and they said they go on Tumblr and they discover all these bands on Tumblr pages where half of the pictures are missing. It's like a cemetery.
That's
And
never heard that one. That's funny.
that's funny, yeah. And they've sent me pictures they found from us on Tumblrs and stuff. I was really like, whoa. But I guess that's the indie sleaze thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, presumably, do you still get royalties from Spotify and stuff like that?
Yeah, probably like €4 a year or something.
I was gonna say, like, how does all that work? Yeah.
But Spotify, it was never well paid, I think. And we had this advance from our publishing, so we have to give the money back until we reimburse the money. So in a way, we never see any money, to be honest.
Oh, right. Okay.
We get paid when we if we sell like a commercial or something, then we get the money. But if it's the royalties, it just add up to our reimbursement, of advance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so did you ever get your music on a commercial then?
We had something with Miu Miu, this brand, this fashion brand, 5 years ago or something, and it paid quite well. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's all right then.
It was not even a commercial. It was for it's crazy. It was for Instagram post.
All right.
Yeah, yeah,
That's mad.
yeah,
Um. Okay, I think that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, that's great. Cheers to them. I guess to finish, they always ask people if what was the high point and if they do anything differently.
Was the high point is like the
Uh, the high point of that time, I guess, as
ah
in the band.
um the high point. Yeah, I think I already told you
I
some.
guess that whole year of 2008 was probably
Yeah, it
one
was
big high
for.
point.
Yeah, I think to play Reading for me was the highlight of the career. But yeah, just the whole year was insane.
Yeah,
So
excellent. I guess we've already asked you really if you do anything differently, but I guess it's just what it is,
no,
isn't it?
yeah, it's what it is. And honestly, we were not supposed to be a band, so in a way, it's pretty logical. We did 3 years full fun, and then it's normal. I honestly, it's normal that people in that play music well have a whole long career. Uh, and especially in England, I remember that every time we played a gig at a festival and stuff, we felt quite bad sometimes because all the English bands, they're really good live. I remember one time we played Reading just before Friendly Fires. Oh my God. The sound and stuff was like 10 times bigger. They're doing the show. They were existing for like 3 months, but the guy was like, it was pure show. The crowd was crazy. And so I think it's normal that these guys lasted longer than us.